Yeah, she's running after 15 years. 14, 12 years, whatever it is. Got a little smoke coming out the exhaust. I filled the cylinders with oil. And she's running. Okay. Okay, our temperature coming up a little bit. Got good oil pressure. Battery's charging. The alternator's charging. The alternator was frozen. I showed in another video how I unfroze it. This is bright. I don't have any gas in it. Just about out of fuel. But she's running. I'm gonna tell you how we did it. I have to show you how we did it. It's a little rough, but it's running. Okay. After a dozen years of not running, it's running. Sounding good. Looking good, running better and better. This alternator was frozen. And I got another video to show how I fixed that. And it's charging. Okay. I'm going to show you how I did the Passlock. Alright, that's going to be another little video. That's the old computer, and it's working. Now, I did order another computer. In fact, I have it, but I'm not going to need it. So I'm going to either send it back or sell it. I probably can't send it back. Or just keep it. It wasn't that much. 100 something bucks, a couple hundred. She's running. Gotta watch the temperature. I know I got a radiator leak. Got her running. Okay, temperature's coming up. Starting to run a little better. Got a little bit of mist to it, what do you expect? Think the AC works? Okay, AC. Okay, got the AC on. Whether it's working or not, we don't know. Got it on all the way cold. Fan's blowing. Fixing to run out of fuel, probably. Let's see if the compressor's turning. I doubt it. Thing only been sitting a dozen years. Yeah, compressor's not turning. I didn't think it would. That's all things to get to later. Main thing is we gotta run it. I'm gonna show the trick to do the Passlock that I didn't do, that I missed somewhere along the way. So the old computer's working. Quit smoking. Only like a clock. A little bit of smoke. That's expected. Okay. Meanwhile, for waiting on getting the engine started, start storing parts. I got a whole front end to put on here. I got a fender. I need to get a hood and a front bumper. That's a couple of fenders I scored. I just need one. That way I can open that door all the way. But she's running. I'm probably going to run it out of fuel because I got to drop that tank. I changed the fuel. In another video you'll see I changed the tank and the fuel pump. But I got a leak. I think it's the return line. So I got a leak. Flashing lights because I don't have my seatbelt on. I got a leak. So you got good oil pressure. As the temperature, like I said, I do have a radiator leak. I'm up to probably change the radiator. Yeah, it's got a little bit rough, but it's running. I'm just gonna sit here and run it out of fuel, and that way the tank's gonna be a little bit lighter. I don't have to drop the tank all the way down. I just have to drop it down far enough so I can turn it sideways to get to the fuel lines. I'm thinking one of the lines didn't snap on properly. One of the fuel lines, return line probably. Because it is leaking a little bit of fuel back there. Well, we got it started. Let me show you the trick with the Passlock. What happened was I ended up ordering another computer because everything was pointing in that direction. I ran the code, as you've seen in other videos. Okay. This is the body control module. Now I have an extra one. Here's the one that comes with the truck. and I bought an extra one. And I was thinking that was the problem. But I'd have had this thing running a good while ago if I would have did the Passlock right. And I went all over the internet, found all kind of ways to do the Passlock. And the new computer came up with these instructions on the Passlock. And but I had these instructions. Like I said, I had a lot of instructions you can see on the internet. People tell you how to do the Passlock. But either they left the part out that I missed, or just missed the part they left out. So I'm gonna make another video on how to do the Passlock. But it's working good. Security light is not on. Now my airbag light is on, because the airbags are not in there. The airbags are blown. So we still got to contend with that. But now we got to run it. Now we got something we can fool around with. Alright, we're going to run out of fuel. Okay, we got it running. Now I'm going to show you how I did the Passlock and the problem we had with it. Here's a new computer, which is not in there. Brand new computer I ordered, which I don't need. Okay. Here's a computer. I'm going to keep it because it wasn't that expensive. This is the old computer, I got it going. Okay. Now the problem was the code was saying it wasn't communicating with the body control module. The PCM was not communicating with the body control module. Now I tried to turn the key on, you know, the 30-minute reset. Okay, when you turn the key on, try to start it and you let it sit for until the security light goes off, or you wait at least 10 minutes. You turn it off for 5 seconds, turn it back on, and just leave it on for another 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you turn it off for 5 seconds. You try to start it. Okay. Then you let it sit for another 10, 12 minutes. Okay, you keep repeating that. And you do that 3 times. Okay, I tried that. I kept trying it. I couldn't get it to work. So everything with the codes was pointing to the computer. So that's why I bought this new computer. Okay, which I don't need. Like I said before. And I'm going to show you the trick. Okay, I was hooking up a battery charger to the battery as they required, as instructed, when I was doing the Passlock. Okay, I had a battery charger. Show you the battery. The truck needs to be washed now. Okay, see that battery charger right there? Okay, this is the battery charger I was using. Okay, it's a 4 amp battery charger to keep it up. Okay, but after reading these instructions that came with the computer, they said if you get a voltage drop, okay, if you get any kind of voltage drop, make sure my temperature is not going too hot. It looks good. If you get a voltage drop, okay, what you do is, what'll happen is it won't do the Passlock. Although I did have that battery charger on there, it wasn't keeping it up. So before changing the computer this morning, the instructions says have a 10 amp battery charger. That was a 4 amp. So what I simply did, I went to Walmart and I bought this little battery charger right here. And it's $40-something. See, it's a 10 amp. Okay. It drops down to 2 amp when it's maintained, but it's a 10 amp charger. So I bought that and I said, let me try it before changing the computer, because I was using the 4 amp battery set. Anyway, make a long story short, the whole problem was the battery wasn't, the small battery charger wasn't keeping the battery up, okay, which was causing the Passlock not to kick in, okay. So it was just simply get a 10 amp battery charger, okay. So these are the instructions, they tell you about it. Like I said, that came with the computer. Ought to be just about out of gas. It's running good, it's not running perfect, but hell, it ain't running 12 years. I tried to put it in gear, the brakes are locked up, it's been sitting for 12 years. It's going in gear, it's trying. Now I put it forward, the back tires would spin, so it tells me the brakes are locked up. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. Running good. Now the next thing we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to run it out of fuel. Which it needs to run. As you can see, it's charging. This is charging from the froze alternator. Temperature's working. It's going up. Plenty of oil pressure. But out of fuel. Okay. Let me close that door, get rid of that noise. Now this is blowing, but of course the compressor's not coming on. I'm going to turn this off. That light is because I don't have the seat belt. If I put the seat belt on, it'll go off. Okay, so that's pretty much it. When you do your Passlock, okay, make sure. Let's see, I dug this out of there because I figured this was the problem. That was, I had to pull all kind of stuff out of there. That's in another video. Okay, now we need to redo. I got a cover for this dash. It's actually a metal, it's a plastic cover, just like this one. But it's not a replacement dash, it's just a cover. So I'm gonna do is, I gotta pull all the dash out to get to the airbags. So I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna go back, glue this in, and then put that cover over the top of it. That's in another video on how, about the cover. Okay. She's definitely percolating. While we let it run out of fuel, I'm gonna run back by you exactly how I did the Passlock. Okay. Okay. Attempt to start the vehicle by cranking the starter for a few seconds. Then let the key stay on in the on position. Stop cranking. Do not turn the key off. Okay. Alright, you do that, and then you wait. You wait 10 minutes. Okay. After you crank it, you leave the key in the on position. You stop cranking. You just let it spring back in the on position and let it go 10 minutes. And I went 12 minutes on mine. 11 to 12. Then you turn your key off for 5 seconds, at least 5 seconds. And I went 10 seconds. Okay. Then you crank it again, just let it crank over just a little bit, a few seconds. You stop cranking and you leave the key in the on position. Don't turn it off. All right, you let that sit for another 11, 12 minutes. Now, the main thing is having that battery charger hooked up, a 10 amp battery charger to your battery. After that 10 minutes, you shut it off. And you wait a good 5 seconds. And like I said, I wait 10. Then you crank it again for a few seconds and just let it sit again. Now you let it sit for another 10 minutes or 12 minutes like I did. Okay. Then turn it off for 5 seconds. Or like I said, I keep saying 10 seconds. Then you try to start it for a few seconds. I did this whole procedure, you do it 3 times. So that's 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes you've been sitting there fooling with it. It takes 30 minutes. Now, the Walmart battery charger, 10 amp battery charger, kept it up, kept the voltage up, so I didn't lose anything. So it all worked. Now I tried this with this little battery charger right here. The exact thing I'm telling you. I tried this at least a half a dozen times, at least 6 times. Okay, with this battery charger hooked to the battery. Okay, but as you can see, it's a 4 amp, not a 10 amp, and that was my whole problem. The battery charger. Now they say if you can't get your hands on a 10 amp battery charger, get another vehicle and jump it to this vehicle you're trying to start. Leave the battery jumper cables hooked up and the other vehicle running at a high idle. Of course, I didn't have to do that. And the whole thing, it was not enough voltage. So there's nothing wrong with my PCM. I have an extra one now. So now we can move on. And we got fender to change, hood to change. We got a lot of brakes to do. It took a lot of work to do this old truck, get it going. If you can tell it's missing just a little bit, it's kind of shaking. It ain't running 12 years. All the vital signs look good. It's not overheating. Plenty of oil pressure. It's charging. 14 volts. Now I have the battery charger disconnected out there. Now I've changed, if you go back and look at my videos, I threw parts at it. Changed a lot of parts. Plugs, wires, the whole works. Rotary, the cap, the rotor. I've been throwing parts at it. And like I said, the whole thing, if I would have had a 10 amp battery charger, which I hadn't seen nobody make a video on that, on the 10 amp battery charger. I got it with the instructions on my new PCM. Well, I got a new computer, if something should happen to this thing. And it wasn't that much. It wasn't even $200. So I'm not gonna try to send it back and prove it all up. For $200, I'll just put it with the rest of my parts I got. But lesson learned, and I made the mistake so you don't have to make the mistake. Get a 10 amp battery charger is the whole trick. And go through the procedure I just showed you. Now, if it doesn't work, I'm reading the instructions right here, and they're saying if it doesn't work on the first attempt, do it again. Make sure your battery's all the way up, good and charged. and go through the whole procedure again. Okay. Now what the truck was doing before, it would start and run about 2 seconds. Then it would stop. It would start, run 2 seconds and stop. So, I think almost feels like the heater's on. So it definitely working. Got power windows. I don't know if the other one's gonna work. That's 15 years. Them old chicken coop, wasn't it? That's 15 years. The glass ain't been down. Might look like it might have a rubber missing on it over there. Alright, we're gonna put this truck back on the road. I'm gonna go through the steps of what it's gonna take to get it back on the road. I got a whole new grill. Real nice looking grill that I ordered for it, or have. It came in. In fact, I have it, that's in another video. We're gonna fix that, change that grill, change the front bumper. The hood is bent, the left front fender. The doors look good. Doors in good shape. Brakes. Gonna pull all the wheels off. Tires, of course. I'm gonna put new tires. Put brand new tires on it. She's running good. Wish I could take her down the road. I can't get out my driveway. And the brakes are locked up. This right here was a tag that I put on here. And that's for when it needed the next oil change. All right, we're in the year 2025 right now, November 2025. Okay, I don't know if you can read the tag. July 24th, 2011 is when it was due for an oil change. Of course, I changed the oil and filter. Now, the filter was jammed on there. I had to take I had a hard time getting it off. That's in another video. I mean, the truck been sitting all these years. So before you order a computer, go to Walmart and get your 10 amp battery charger. At least a 10 amp. It's kind of island rough. What do you expect? This truck only's got 131,000 miles on it. 131,871 miles. It had a new engine put in it. I forget how many miles it had, 60,000, something like that. And the engine went out. So we put a new engine in it. And that's the main reason I'm getting this thing going. If you look at the other videos, you'll see how high the compression is. I did a compression check on all the cylinders, and you'll see why I want to keep this truck. The old truck's pretty good shape, you know. I like these old trucks. I like this year model. Anyway, she's running good. She's not overheating yet. I don't think it's going to overheat. There's enough water in the radiator, fluid in the radiator to keep it from overheating. The radiator was definitely leaking. All right. That's how we do it here. Finally get this truck running.